Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Sapna Goel 1985. Through this video, we are going to study class 7th Geography lesson 2 Inside Our Earth. This video is entirely in English, but the Hindi version of this video is also there on the channel. Have you ever wondered what is inside our earth? You must have seen people digging the earth. What if we keep on digging deeper and deeper and deeper? What will come out? So, this is what we are going to study in this chapter. What is inside our earth? Our earth is made up of several layers. The outermost layer is crust. Beneath the crust, there is mantle, which is divided into two parts. And then there is outer core and inner core. Have a look at another picture. And what is lithosphere? The crust and the upper mantle is together makes up lithosphere. Mantle has two parts. Can you see in the picture asthenosphere and mesosphere? So this makes up mantle. The upper portion, which is asthenosphere, this is semi-molten. So this asthenosphere plus crust makes up lithosphere. One more picture, crust plus upper mantle. So crust is that land on which we live. It's the land on which we stand. So now, what are rocks? The Earth's crust is made up of various types of rocks. These rocks only when they break up, they turn into soil. So what is the definition? Any natural mass of mineral matter that makes up the Earth's crust is called a rock. Basically, these rocks only contains the minerals and through various processes, chemical and physical processes, these minerals are extracted from the rocks. And rocks can be of different colors, shape, size, texture. There are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. So let us study them in detail. Let's start with igneous rocks. They are formed by solidification of hot molten magma, and this magma lies inside the earth. So just have a look at the picture. There is hot molten magma inside the earth. At times, because of intense heat and pressure, this magma comes out through volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruptions take place and this magma comes out. When it comes out on the surface of the earth, we call it lava. Inside, we call it magma. Have a look at real pictures. So there's volcanic eruption taking place, magma is coming out, and in the other picture, you can see molten hot lava. And when this solidifies, this lava cools down during a period of maybe 2 years, 3 years, it turns into rocks. And these rocks are called as igneous rocks. There are two types of igneous rocks: extrusive igneous rocks and intrusive igneous rocks. Extrusive igneous rocks are formed when molten magma cools outside on the surface of the earth. Have a look at the picture. The magma comes out and it cools down on the surface of the earth. So when the rocks are formed outside on the surface, they are called as extrusive igneous rocks. And when the magma cools inside the earth, they form intrusive igneous rocks. The rocks that are formed outside, they cool down very quickly. Basically, the lava that comes out, it cools down very quickly. So the rocks that are formed on the surface of the earth, the outside ones, extrusive rocks, they are very fine grained. Have a look at the picture. This is example of basalt. And the ones that are formed inside, the intrusive igneous rocks, because of slow cooling of magma, they are very large grained. Example, granite. You can have a look at the picture. So what is this fine grained and large grain? Fine grain means the mineral component, the soil type component on the surface of the rock, it's very fine. The particles that the rock is made up of, they are very fine. Whereas the the other one, intrusive one, you can see even the minerals at times are clearly visible just by looking at the rock, because the mineral constituent, the particles, the grain particles, they are very large. This you can identify from the difference in picture also. Now let's talk about sedimentary rocks. They are formed from sediments, that means small pieces of rocks, accumulated over a long period in sea, lakes, streams, etc. How does it happen? Have a look at the picture. Because of various factors like water or wind, the rocks on top of the hill break into smaller pieces, and this breaking up of rocks is called as weathering. So these rocks break up into smaller pieces. They even erode because of the action of water and even air. Erode means ghisna. So they even erode. And then again, because of the action of rain or water, they keep on moving down the hill. And even because of the slope. So look at another picture. The rocks break, and because of gravity, they move down and they get deposited within the oceans or lakes or ponds. And over time, it's not just one layer of rocks. Over times, over thousands of years, another layer gets deposited, then the third layer, then the fourth layer. So one after the other, layers keep on getting deposited over the other. And over time, because of the pressure, because of the heat, they turn into sedimentary rocks. Have a look at this picture. You will see layers of rocks. Even different colors are visible. This is another picture of sedimentary rocks. And chert, conglomerate, limestone, sandstone, shale, rock salt, all these are sedimentary rocks, and they are formed from loose sediments. And so when these loose sediments are compressed, hardened, they form thin layer of rocks. Now let us talk about metamorphic rocks. How are these formed? Because of intense heat and pressure, when igneous and or sedimentary rocks are further compressed, then the original character of the rocks changes and these turn into metamorphic rocks. Have a look at this picture. Either sedimentary rocks or metamorphic rocks, when they are further compressed and there is intense heat and pressure, and over a span of thousands of years, they turn into metamorphic rocks. See this, how the rocks changes because of compression. Another picture. And as a result, limestone changes into marble, clay and shale changes into slate. So slate, quartzite, gneiss, marble, all these are examples of metamorphic rocks. Now some uses of rocks. The hard rocks are used for making roads, houses, buildings. When these rocks erode and they break up, over time they turn into very fertile soil because the rocks contain minerals and the minerals make the soil fertile. Rock changes into another type under certain conditions. This is called as rock cycle. Now let us understand the process of rock cycle. First of all, molten magma comes out because of volcanic eruption and it cools down and it forms igneous rocks. These igneous rocks break into small pieces and they change into sedimentary rocks. Then these igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks, because of intense heat and pressure, they are further compressed and they change into metamorphic rocks. Now, these three types of rocks, igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic, because of again intense heat and pressure, they melt and get converted into molten magma. And this magma again comes out on the surface of the earth through volcanic eruption and it solidifies and forms igneous rocks. So, this is a process which keeps on going, it does not stop. And uh, the sediments, the loose sediments, are formed from the breaking up of all types of rocks, not just igneous rocks. Even sedimentary rocks break and form sediments, metamorphic also, and igneous also. Now, what are minerals? Minerals are naturally occurring substances. They are found in nature and they have certain physical properties and definite chemical composition. Means each type of mineral has its own crystal structure, has certain type of color, has some hardness. For example, these are just few examples of minerals. And the talc, it's the softest mineral, whereas diamond, it's the hardest. Other examples are coal, natural gas, petroleum. These are also called as fossil fuels. And these minerals, they're used in industries, in making medicines, in making fertilizers, etc. Do you know the deepest mine in the world is in South Africa, and it is about 4 kilometers deep. It is a gold mine, and engineers in search of oil have dug a hole about 6 kilometers deep in the earth, but they have not gone beyond that. Then the crust forms only 1% of the volume of the earth. 84% consists of mantle and 15% makes up the core. The radius of the earth is 6371 kilometers. And what are fossils? Very common term that you hear in science and social science. The remains of dead plants and animals trapped in the layers of rocks are called as fossils. So these are fossils, the dead remains of plants and animals. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.